into Friday. In fact, here's a look at your rainfall forecast. The rainfall amounts aren't much, but as you can see, the green shading here indicates anywhere between a ½ inch to maybe an inch and a half of rainfall by the time we get to Saturday morning. Here's a look at your Fox 5 Storm Team 7-day forecast. You can see here temperatures are going up and rain chances are going up Wednesday, Thursday into Friday. A closer look at the forecast tonight at 10.
All right, Jonathan, thanks so much. 1 point to reopen this week with a new look. The location on Ponce de Leon Avenue has been closed since 2021 after someone set fire to it. The longtime donut shop will open its doors October 10th, but it will no longer be open overnight. It's been at the site for more than 60 years. We're told 10 lucky guests will get a celebration ticket during celebrations next week. That ticket is worth a dozen free original glazed donuts every month for a year. I'll take that over the Powerball.
Down fast. I have no idea how to do this. Nobody has any idea how to do this. The price of oil never goes down. The price of anything doesn't go down. I have a credit card that saves me 2 cents a liter on gas, but that's about as good as I think we're going to be able to do. But it's important. It's on the list. We're moving on. Here we go. Thirdly. Thirdly. Now, this is going to seem extreme, and it's going to cause a lot of backlash, but I don't care. It has to be done. We got to take away all of his devices. Laptops, cell phones, TVs, Game Boys, whatever he's got, we got to take it away. It's the only way I can get my kids to do anything. But works like a charm. Fourth. What was fourth? It doesn't matter, right? Because number 5 is the nuclear option. Wait, nuclear option was 4th, but it doesn't work, right? Because everyone's going to end up getting cancer. Okay, so 5th. Well, 5th is how anything gets done. It's how everything gets done. It's how I lost weight. It's the only reason I learned how to read. And it's why I treat myself as a precious soul who is worthy of love every single day. We're going to have to get Oprah to tell them to. You gotta go, and you gotta go. You gotta go home, child. You gotta go home, hug your mama. That's right, child. Let's go. Get the hell out and hug your mama. And that's what.
But provides no other details. Washington today announcing an American carrier strike group is being deployed to the eastern Mediterranean in a show of force supporting Israel. The USS Gerald R. Ford with 5,000 sailors and a deck of warplanes will be accompanied by cruisers and destroyers. Washington is seeing reports that Americans could be missing or killed in the violence. Secretary of State Antony Blinken stating today that they're working hard to verify that information.
We have reports that several Americans may be among the dead. We are very actively working to verify those reports. Similarly, we've seen reports about hostages, and there again, we're very actively trying to verify them and nail that.
This week, after Putin's troops invaded Ukraine, the Russian economy has been crippled by economic sanctions from Western countries. The Russian markets are collapsing, and the ruble has turned to rubble. I mean, Crimea River, am I right? You chumps want to Verdansk? What did you expect? Speaking of unwanted people in your country, Sean Penn is on the ground in Ukraine filming a documentary about Russia's invasion. In an attempt to stay relevant, Sean Penn has become the first Hollywood a-hole lister to attempt to make the Russian occupation of Ukraine all about him and his journey. Who knows? It could either become a very telling work or an early look at Dead Men Walking 2. In a grand gesture, Canadian telecom companies have waived rates for customers texting and calling Ukraine amid the Russian invasion. However, Canadians not phoning Ukraine will continue to pay the highest cell phone rates in the world. Nostrovia. There are 2 kinds of comedians in the world. The ones who lead the way with their courage, wisdom, and bravery, and the ones that slip something into your drink when you're not looking. Still better than actors that don't check to see if the gun is loaded, though. With all that's going on in the world, it's hard to get simple answers to complicated questions. How do we get Russia to end the war and leave Ukraine? What's it going to take? For all my simple answers, I ask Chuck. Coming in hot. All right, okay. I've got this whole thing worked out, all right?
Now, so far, the world has been quick to react. Russia's been shut out of the international banking system, and governments around the world are on high alert. The Swiss have even picked sides, and these guys won't even call a coin flip. Most importantly, though, Amazon just dropped season 4 of The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, and I have it on good authority that Vlad loves him some Maisel. It's a good start, but here's how we follow up. Step 1. We immediately dropped the second half of season 4 of Ozark. Borscht Belt jokes and deli sandwiches are nice, but let's face it, at the end of the day, we all know what Vlad wants. He wants Jason Bateman to wash his ruples. You give good scrub.
Western world, but in other parts of the world, many governments are staying quiet, waiting to see what comes next. When asked to comment, Taiwan stated, "Why does China keep staring at me like that? It's got this weird look on its face. Seriously, it's kind of creeping me out."
At Morgan State University, police still searching for 2 suspects, 5 people recovering from Tuesday's shooting at Morgan State, prompting school officials to cancel homecoming activities. Officials say because the suspects are still at large and due to prior experience with gun violence around homecoming events, for the first time in its history, most festivities were canceled. Classes were canceled for the week and counselors are available to students. D.C. University officials say the shooting happened just before midnight Saturday. The condition of the victims, neither of whom were students at the school, is unknown at this time. Police investigating a motive. This follows a shooting at another HBCU school in Baltimore at Morgan State University. 5 people recovering from Tuesday's shooting at Morgan State, prompting school officials to cancel its homecoming. Officials say because the suspects are still at large and due to prior experiences with gun violence around homecoming events, for the first time in its history, most of the festivities have been canceled. Baltimore police say they're still searching for 2 people in connection with the shooting. Classes canceled for the remainder of the week. Counselors available for students. Despite walkout, organizers say pharmacy workers at some Walgreens store, including pharmacists, technicians, and support staff, are planning to walk out this week between October 9th and the 11th. The planned action comes after pharmacy employees walked off the job at multiple CVS stores in the Kansas City area last week. The coordinated action at some of the Walgreens stores is in response to what pharmacy staff say is short staffing and burdensome expectations by corporate management. As a result, employees often find themselves falling behind and dealing with angry customers.
Make the tax code more fair. He was met with mixed reactions, but Biden gained universal support when he announced a total ban on all forms of malarkey. Over to you.
The world's largest aircraft, the Antonov Tu-25, has been destroyed during the Russian invasion of Ukraine, generating alarms and sadness amongst the aviation world. This plane was so big that when you opened it up, there was a smaller plane inside of that, and a smaller plane inside of that, and then over to you.
This year, the Oscars will try to keep the broadcast on time by dropping some categories from the live event. Some of the categories dropped include film editing, makeup, hairstyling, and sound. When asked why these categories would not be part of the televised broadcast, a spokesperson explained that sound guys are ugly. Over to you. And makes jokes way too soon, Jean-Paul will be there for you. I'll be there for you. If you desire facial expressions that range from compassion to care to je ne sais quoi, Jean-Paul makes these facial expressions. I'll be there for you. If you like your news with a side of bacon, another side of bacon, some sausage, French toast, whipped cream, and eggs Benny, that sounds a little greasy, but I'll be there for you. If you like pina coladas and getting caught in the rain, I'll be there for you. Jean-Paul, a little sketchy news anchor. We don't know if it's his first name and his last name. Could be his first name and his middle name. Is there even a surname? There is no possible way to find out. I'll never tell, but I'll be there